Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Morgan Villar and I am an MBA, an entrepreneur, a new mom, and possibly the most efficient lazy person you've ever met. This video was inspired by a book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. It's a New York Times best-selling book, really about businesses. It basically argues that if you're a CEO who is trying to focus on the really important stuff in your business, the meat and potatoes of your business, then you should try to buy back your time to hire for jobs that you don't enjoy doing or that you aren't particularly skilled in within your business. So in this video, I'm going to take you through all of the outsourcing that I do to save myself 20+ hours per week. What would you do with that time back? Some of what I outsource is totally normal, and some of it you might think, girl, you've gone a little too far. But in this video, I'm going to take you through all of the ways that I am able to buy back my time. Let's start with the safe stuff. I love to clean and organize, but even though I actually enjoy it, it's not more enjoyable than hanging out with my daughter or building businesses with my husband. And so cleaning is one of the biggest things that I'm able to outsource. We are very fortunate to have a full-time housekeeper. She's here Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. But we offer her a very flexible schedule so that she can go pick up her son as needed or take time off if she needs to be with her family. She is a W-2 employee, and something like this does run a pretty big price tag. That is typically the minimum in my state, and we do provide benefits, including health insurance, as well as a 4% match on her 401k. Nanny and night nanny. Our nanny is basically a member of the family at this point. She is my godsend. Although my daughter is so loved and cared for by everybody in our household, including myself, my husband, my mom, and my grandma, it is really wonderful to not have to stress out during the day while I'm working whether I'm giving her enough attention. Having a nanny has been so critical for me staying in the workforce. Unlike some moms who have to make the really tough decision between continuing to pursue their dreams and their careers and staying home with the kids, I did not have to make that decision because we found someone who absolutely adores my child when I'm not around. Although everyone in my household absolutely loves my baby girl, I really wanted to be the type of mom and have the kind of family that is always present when we're with each other. That means I put away my phone when I'm around my daughter and ensure that she knows she is my priority and I am paying attention to nothing but her. So I think having a nanny is absolutely a luxury, but it is one that has also allowed me to remain in the workforce, which I think over time will be such a benefit to my family as my kids see their mom working on pursuing her dreams and as they learn how to work with other people and grow close to other people. Having a night nanny for the first 3 months of my daughter's life was critical. It allowed me to recover from my C-section, get some much needed rest while I healed, as well as adjust to becoming a new mom without the pressure of staying up all night for days on end. A night nanny is something that I absolutely recommend if you can afford it. However, it's not necessarily in everyone's budget, in which case I highly recommend a mother-in-law or other grandparent coming by to help at least 1 or 2 times a week if your family has that luxury. The next one on my list is grocery delivery. No rogue parking lot battles, no impulse purchases. If I don't see the cookies in person, then they don't exist. Grocery delivery not only saves me money, it also saves me time. Just make sure that you tip whoever is delivering your groceries, whether it's on Instacart or on Amazon Groceries. Speaking of Amazon, subscribe and save. Most of our household essential items I have essentially on a timed schedule for delivery. When we first moved into our home, I slightly neurotically decided to track how often we used up resources like toilet paper and formula and other household items like soap. And now all of those things are on a timer based on my research in the first 3 months that we lived in our house. So no more worrying about whether I'm going to have shampoo and conditioner, although I don't wash my own hair, we'll get to that later, and other such supplies in the house. I also subscribe to my medications as well as my pet's medications, which just get delivered to my door every single month. It's a really easy way to save yourself an hour a week waiting in line at the pharmacy. My lawn stays perfect and I have never touched a mower. The last thing on my normal list is landscaping. I pay someone amazing who loves being outdoors and in the garden to landscape, ensure that our grass remains cut, and ensure that we don't have any crazy things going on with our plants outside, like dead tree limbs or anything that could possibly endanger my home or my kid. So landscaping is the last thing on my normal list. Okay, so those are my respectable outsources. Now let's get to the ones that make my grandma shake her head in disappointment. Number 1, Nuuly. Every single month, 6 new outfits arrive at my door. I get to use them and put them back in their little bag and ship them back off and wait for my next wonderful package. It's literally like having a rich cousin with my exact same measurements. Nuuly is an amazing subscription that you can use as your rotating closet. Instead of purchasing outfits for new events and for things that I want to do that are more like special occasions, I use the service Nuuly to refresh my wardrobe on a monthly basis. This is not only sustainable because I'm not just buying new outfits for every single occasion, but it's also something that allows me to save a ton of money while also saving time. I don't have to go on and try a bunch of things at a department store or sift through Amazon for hours looking for a dupe of something. I'm able to simply pick some styles that I think are cool without a commitment to keeping those styles and send them back off if I don't like them. Nuuly is also really cool because if you do love an item, you can pay for it. Not the retail price, but like a highly, highly discounted price for it because it has been worn by other people. And so you're paying for the used item, not for the brand new purchase. This is how I avoid fast fashion and how I avoid breaking the bank by constantly buying very expensive pieces from brands like Thoreau, which want to charge me $500 for a t-shirt, and I still can't really wrap my head around that kind of an expense. So Nuuly is an amazing rotating closet. I highly recommend it. And I think I might have a referral link below. So if you know me, you know I really love animals. Like almost too much. So much so that I have 5 disabled dogs that live in my basement. And these dogs are amazing. They're my kids before I had a kid. And I love them to death. But dogs, they roam around outside, they get stinky. And so next on my list is our dog groomer. Our dog groomer, Taj, comes to the house once a month. He has access to my house. I don't even schedule him at this point. He just knows it's the first Saturday every month he should be at my home. He has an entire setup where he comes in, grabs the dogs, he knows where all the towels are, he knows their temperament, they know him. And the best part, I basically come home on the first Saturday of every month to clean little fluffers. And that is my favorite time of the month to cuddle with them. So dog grooming has been such an amazing, amazing addition to our outsourcing because I don't battle washing 5 disabled dogs. One of the best things for the dogs too is that they're not out of their comfort zone. Because Taj comes here, I don't have to worry about whether my dogs are misbehaving. I don't have to worry about pickup times at a traditional dog groomer. It has been such an amazing addition to our Taj has been such an amazing addition to our team. I highly recommend finding a local dog groomer to come to your house. And here's the price for dog grooming. Now, we do get a multi-dog discount, if you will, so you might see slightly higher prices if you live in a different geographic location or if you just have 1 or 2 pets. This is not really an outsource, but it was at one point. I have a curated gift closet. My husband and I a while ago made a list and we basically wrote down everybody who's going to get a gift from us on birthdays, holidays, etc. And that list, while it was highly contentious, has served us well because I'm now able to pre-order gifts and keep them in our gift closet so that I don't have to worry about running to the store and buying a last minute gift. So I have pre-purchased most of our gifts. I leave them in a gift closet with all of our fun wrapping. There are actually services that I'll link below that you can use to automate this for you. Well, we don't use a service for us. This was a setup one time and I have literally been living the high life on not having to give gifts for a very long time now. I think it's been like 2 years since I've had to go out and purchase a gift. So I highly recommend using either one of the services or putting the time in up front to plan your gifting for the next year or 2 years so that you can save yourself the time later. I outsource the security of my online identity. What does that mean? Although having a YouTube channel might seem counter to my next statement, I really do care about online privacy and security. And so I outsource all of that management to Delete Me. Delete Me is a service that will remove your personal information from various data brokers. The double benefit of Delete Me, besides keeping my personal information online safe, is that I have seen a huge reduction in spam phone calls. I used to get 3, 4, maybe even 5 spam calls a day, but with them opting my information out of these data brokers, I have seen a huge drop off in those numbers. Basically, Delete Me is like a hitman for your digital footprint. I am a firm believer that the hair makes the woman. And so yes, I outsource all of my hair care. I have not actually washed my own hair in a very, very long time, with the occasional times where I go swimming or something like that. Most of the time I go to Dry Bar, which is about 10 minutes away from my house here in Georgia, and I'm able to sit down and work answering emails, answering phone calls, while a professional makes my hair look fantastic. The result is I don't struggle with my curls for 2 hours over something that somebody can realistically do way better than I can in half the amount of time, if not less. So this is a huge time saver and doesn't break the bank. It's a little luxury every week that makes me feel good and look good. Dry Bar visits will run you about this much, and if you get the Barfly membership, it's only going to be about this much. Plus you get freebies like 1 free add-on per month. So I highly recommend, if you're going to start going to Dry Bar, to go ahead and use their Barfly membership. When I can't make it to Dry Bar, or when I have a very special event, I also have an amazing hairdresser that will come to my house. She does my hair for things like my daughter's newborn photo shoots or any other special occasion. And that will run you anywhere in the range of $60 per visit, all the way up to $150 per visit, depending on your stylist, their experience, and what they charge for travel, etc. My husband used to always make fun of me because I'm a really clean person in my house. My car, on the other hand, is a very, very, very different story. And so one thing that I had to outsource just to make my husband not tear out his hair while dealing with me is our mobile car wash service. I have an amazing gentleman who comes to my house about once a month to give my car basically what amounts to a detailing. And for about $150, he's able to wash my entire vehicle, scrub it clean, and make me feel really good about my daughter getting it messy all over again. And so while this is a premium service, I do have a very large SUV, a Volvo XC90. So this is a bigger car. And while he's here, he typically does wash my husband's smaller vehicle, which is a Tesla. And yes, we bought the Tesla before Elon Musk went crazy. He does wash my husband's Tesla, but it's not necessarily as detailed of a clean as mine because my husband keeps his car immaculate. Although I can't say that he doesn't just throw his clothes around everywhere in the house. So we're the opposite in that regard. So my mobile detailing service has been an amazing help and saves me about an hour per week. Many people think that travel agents are blast from the past, but I must say that my friend just got her travel agent's license and has now been working to book all of our hotels. I never knew what luxury there was in not having to research and identify places that I, number 1, want to stay at, number 2, fall within my budget, and number 3, have perks and amenities that I never even thought possible while on certain trips. So I now am a huge travel agent enthusiast, especially for hotels. Travel agents have access to all sorts of goodies. For example, on our upcoming trip to Turks and Caicos, she was actually able to get us a $750 credit to use while at the resort. This is something that if I had just booked online or on my own through calls and so much time on the phone with people that I never would have even gotten that perk in the first place. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, especially for hotels, working with a travel agent that you trust. And bonus points if that travel agent is your friend and knows you and knows when you want to be bougie and when you want to save. Our dog groomer saves us at least 3 hours a month. I estimate that my gift closet probably saves me about 1 hour to 2 hours per month. I estimate that my Delete Me subscription has saved me about 4 hours a week in deleting my personal information and that of my family from these online brokers. My outsourced hair care saves me about 6 hours per week minimum. Our travel agent has probably saved me 8 hours over the course of planning 2 trips. My mobile car wash saves me about 1 hour per month because I do not go every single week. I go monthly. One of the biggest things that I outsource that saves me a minimum of 8 hours per week is meal preparation. Having a private chef is not as expensive as you might think. I'm going to actually provide you with the exact job description that I use to find amazing chefs who are willing to come in our case, 3 times per week, meal prep for our family for the days that they're not there, and cook us fresh meals for the days that they are there. This allows me to save time not only grocery shopping, but also it allows me to save time in planning the meals. Typically, the chefs are going to prepare their own menus for the week and just run it by you for approval. It also ensures that we're eating nutritiously and make sure that we're not eating the same foods every single week, like some families that meal prep complain about. So the way that our schedule works is our chef comes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. On Mondays, they make meals for Monday and leave meals for Tuesday. Wednesday, they make dinner for Wednesday and leave meals for Thursday. Thursday, they make meals for Saturday because we typically like to go out on Friday nights, and so we just always plan that we're going to go to like a restaurant on a Friday night. So all of that only costs about this much. And this really varies based on the experience of your chef. I have seen that some chefs charge by the hour, which could range anywhere between $10 an hour and $70 an hour. And other chefs charge by the meal. So those can range anywhere between $17 per meal all the way up to $30 per meal. So as much as we think that private chefs are a luxury only for billionaires, they can fit into a regular family's budget, especially if you have a larger family where you're already spending thousands of dollars a month on groceries, which are insanely high. They also have meal prep services. I have used a few, including Garnish and Gather, which I do love. Those do save you the time of planning your meals, but you still have to cook them. And if you're anything like me, you do not know your way out of a kitchen. I don't even know my way into a kitchen. I don't know my way in a kitchen, around a kitchen, out of a kitchen. I think that the kitchen is for show. But really, I could burn water. So I really highly recommend, if you're somebody who does not enjoy cooking and who is not really good at it, then definitely look into hiring a chef. I use meetachef.com to be able to post our job listing and interview tons of qualified chefs. You're then able to run a background check if that's what you wish to do, so that you can ensure that the person in your home is, pretty safe to be around your family. So when you add up all of the time savings, it is more than 20 hours a week I'm getting back. And it's not that I'm too good to do any of these things or don't even enjoy doing some of these things. It's just that I have other priorities in my life, like spending time with my family, building my business, and getting rest. That this allows me to build back things into my life, like working out, seeing friends, and other such priorities. So here's my challenge to you. Try to find one thing in your life that is eating up your time and try to buy it back through outsourcing. Some of these outsources were affordable and some weren't, but some have layers to them. For example, if you don't have a full-time housekeeper in the budget, do you have a weekly housekeeper in the budget, or do you have a laundry service in the budget? So there are levels to each of these outsources that you might be able to achieve at different stages in your life. Now, I need to know in the comments, what's the wildest thing that you've ever outsourced? Thank you so much for watching. I'm Morgan Villar, and if you like this video and even got 1 hour of your time back, please like, subscribe, and hype it up.